Hey family, welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Rome, and this is the space where we talk about any and everything as long as it leads us back to God. Real talk, real life, real faith, no filters, no fluff, just open conversations that help us grow and go deeper with Him. And guess what? We've got a special guest with us today. Cassidy is in the building, ready to dive in and share what's on her heart too. So whether you're listening on the go or sitting in stillness, and get ready, let's talk, let's grow, and let's go after God together. The Trinity, 3 persons in one God. It sounds impossible, right? But today we're exploring how this ancient concept continues to spark heated debates in modern coffee shops across America.
That's such a complex theological idea to tackle. What made you want to dive into this topic?
Well, I overheard this fascinating debate at my local coffee shop where 2 people were arguing about whether Jesus could be both human and divine. Neither had any real evidence to back their claims, just opinions flying back and forth. At this point, I am thinking to myself, they have no clue with what they are talking about, so I stepped in and joined the conversation.
That's pretty common in theological discussions these days.
For real, right?
People tend to rely on oversimplified analogies rather than looking at the actual historical texts.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is when you look at the original sources, they're surprisingly direct about this. Take John 1:1. It explicitly states the Word was God, and then clarifies that the Word became flesh. No ambiguity there.
Right? You know what fascinates me about that passage? The deliberate connection between the abstract concept and physical reality. But how do you explain Jesus praying to God if He is God?
Oh man, that's where it gets really interesting. Jesus actually addresses this head on in John chapter 10, verse 30 with, I and the Father are one. It's like, well, imagine trying to explain quantum entanglement to someone who only understands classical physics. And
That's such an intriguing comparison.
I try.
And speaking of complex relationships, what about the Holy Spirit? Most people seem to think of it as just some kind of cosmic force.
Facts.
right? Like some kind of Star Wars, may the force be with you situation. But the biblical text presents something completely different. In Acts 5, there's this intense moment where lying to the Holy Spirit is equated with lying to God directly. And the Spirit is described as speaking, teaching, guiding, very personal attributes. And
That reminds me of that powerful scene at Jesus' baptism. It's like a perfect snapshot of all 3 persons in action at once.
That is so true.
oh yeah, that's a crucial moment. You've got Jesus physically present, the Spirit visibly descending like a dove, and the Father's voice from heaven. It's fascinating how this event sets up everything that follows in the narrative.
And it connects directly to Jesus' later instruction about baptism, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
The way He specifically says, in the name, singular, of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
That detail is absolutely crucial. The singular name rather than plural names. It's like the text is deliberately emphasizing both unity and distinction simultaneously. And what's particularly interesting is how this pattern appears consistently throughout various ancient manuscripts.
So what do you make of modern attempts to simplify or rationalize these concepts?
Well, that's where we often go wrong, trying to eliminate all mystery and paradox. You know that story about Augustine walking on the beach. He sees a child trying to pour the ocean into a small hole in the sand and realizes that's exactly what trying to fully comprehend the Trinity is like.
That's such a beautiful way of approaching these deep theological concepts, acknowledging both what we can know and what remains mysterious.
And here's what's really fascinating. These ancient texts maintain their relevance whether you're reading them in first century Jerusalem or in a modern coffee shop. They present complex theological concepts without trying to oversimplify them.
That makes me think about how these discussions might be more productive if we focused on examining the evidence
right?
rather than just sharing opinions.
Exactly. Instead of getting caught up in abstract philosophical debates, we could look at what's actually recorded in these historical documents. It's about finding that balance between confidence in what's revealed and humility about what exceeds our understanding.
Well, who would have thought a coffee shop debate could lead us into such profound theological territory?
That's God moving.
You know what's really amazing? These conversations are happening every day in coffee shops, classrooms, and living rooms across the world. People are still wrestling with these same profound questions that have challenged thinkers for centuries.
Anyways, Cassidy, thank you for coming. And
well, that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for next time. We'll keep diving into the deep stuff, the real stuff, and whatever else makes sense as we keep chasing truth and growing in God.
Make sure you guys like, share, and follow for the algorithm, just so we can get the word out.